Hey guys, this is Zero Budget Geek, and I'm at DexCon 2015. I am talking with I forget your names again. Ben and Josh, and they are from Paw-Warrior Games, and today we're talking about Ember, Shroud of the Shadow Demon. So guys, this looks really cool. Like I mean, we're gonna go into another shot where we're gonna look at the cards and everything, but I mean, just looking at it offhand is just spectacular looking. I mean, and I'm not just saying it for the camera. Like, it just looks really cool. So for the people at home, what is this game about? What are we looking at here? What is this?
So the backstory is that the Shadow Demon has come to Emberia, our magical fantasy land, and has shrouded it in darkness. And these four heroes have risen to stop him. And the only thing that can stop him is the Ember Stones. So they're out on a quest to collect as many Ember Stones as possible.
Okay.
And then the player, or the character, who collects the most, gets to defeat the Shadow Demon and wins the game.
Right. So it is a competitive game. It's not cooperative.
Right.
Or anything
it's
like
very
that.
competitive.
And how many players can play this?
2 to 4.
2 to 4 players in competitive. All right. Well, I'm excited to learn about this game. So let's switch to an overhead view and take a closer look at this.
Forgot about that.
Okay, so Ember is for 2 to 4 players, and it's a point-based game. So there are 4 decks that come in Ember, and each player plays as their own deck. And as we said before, each deck represents one of the heroes out on their quest to collect Ember Stones. So on each card, it has the name of the card, the effect of the card, what happens when you play it, and what makes the game really unique is each card also has a mode. So there are 4 different modes of gameplay that you can play in that each give you a little benefit while you're playing. And the great thing about Ember, it makes it really simple and it also makes it really unique, is there's only one type of card. There's not spells or traps or monster cards. Every card is of the same class, but each card has an effect and the mode. And a player's going to have to be able to determine the best use of each card. Is it better to use this card for its effect, or is it better to use it for its mode? And you can only use it for one, so you have to make that choice. So as you play, the way it works is every time you're playing a card, the card is going to go in this area in front of you called the Emberscape. So when you're playing a card here, that's when you're using the effect, and hopefully it's an effect that either hurts your opponent and stops them from collecting points, or it's something that helps you collect points to gain points for your own pile. The other way you can play the card for its mode is this area up front is called the mode pile. And whatever mode is on the top of your mode pile determines what mode you're in. But when you put a card here, this mode is what matters, the effect doesn't. You don't get to play it. So that's where that choice comes in.
Interesting. And so it's only where they are, so you don't have to turn the cards or anything like that. You don't have to tap it or exhaust or anything like that. You just, if it's down here using the effect, and if it's up here using the mode, it's in. Now, what are the different modes? Like, is that easily explainable?
Yeah, so if there are 4 different modes. When you're playing in protection mode, that's kind of a way to be a little bit more safe. If you've got high point cards here, you want to be protected. What it does is it stops your opponent from stealing or destroying these cards in your Emberscape.
Now, that would happen because of what? Because of like a card effect that they do. So maybe a card that says steal an opponent's. But if you have a protection guy up there, that just stops all of them or certain types?
It specifically stops the cards in your Emberscape in hand from being stolen, captured, or destroyed by your opponents, and there are different cards they could play that do that.
Okay.
Now, people, as they're learning, they get a little bit complacent in protection mode. They think they're totally safe from everything, and that is certainly not the case. There are other ways that they can mess with the cards, or they can mess with your mode pile and change your mode. So it's a way to be safe, but it's by no means protect you from everything.
Okay, so how does a typical turn go for a player?
So it's a turn-based game that has 5 steps per turn.
Okay.
And the first step that you're going to do is called the collection phase.
Okay.
So in your collection phase, if you get to your collection phase and your Emberscape has 5 cards in it, what you end up doing is you take all these cards and you collect them into your collection pile. that's your main way of getting points throughout the game.
Okay.
If you don't have a full Emberscape, you would have to skip that step. There's another step where you are allowed to change the mode if you want. There's a step where you draw a card and a step where you play a card. And obviously that's really basic, but that's the gist of it.
Okay. Now, are there any resources to playing a card, or is just, you know, you just kind of choose the card you want to play and you throw it out there?
The only limit you have is the cards in your hand.
Okay. That sounds really interesting. And how does the game end?
So the game keeps going, and as players continue to play, their Emberscape continues to fill up throughout the game. And like I said, during that collection phase, every time you complete one of those collections, you flip over one of these arcane cards, we call them, as a bonus play.
Oh, okay.
So as the game continues, a player will continue to flip over arcane cards. Once a player flips over their last one, that triggers the end of the game. And whoever has the most Ember Stones in their collection pile wins the game.
Okay. And is it generally like four in the arc?
Yeah, it's generally 4 arcane cards. We start with 4.
And are those just 4 random cards from your deck? Just like you shuffle up your deck and you.
Yeah, those would be random.
So you won't even know what they are.
You don't even know what they are, and every once in a while you will flip one over that actually does not help you. It might even hurt you. Not optional. You have to follow the effect. So it's a way that kind of levels the playing field a little bit in some cases.
Okay, that's very interesting. Now, I noticed that you mentioned that there's 4 different decks, which are 4 different characters. And they all play. I'm assuming they definitely play very differently. Or whatever. Are they like based off of any like known fantasy? Like is one guy warrior, one's the wizard, or something like that? Or is it just they are kind of something unique to Ember?
They are unique to Ember, but they do have standard fantasy characteristics. We have the elven princess, the water master, the wizard, as you said, and the swordsman. So he's like the warrior and.
And so, what do the card in sort of in the theme? What do the cards represent? Like, are some of them spell? Like, I see this one here says dark magic. So, is that like a spell? That would be a spell. And maybe some of them are items or something like that. Or like, do these represent things that your character does?
Maybe in theme, but not in gameplay.
Right. I mean, in theme wise, it's just these are the character, the things that the character can.
Yeah. So the way the decks are comprised is there are common cards that are found in all 4 decks, but then there are also unique cards that are only in that one specific deck.
Okay.
For example, the 2 cards you just put out, the Dark Magic and the Spell Book. Those are cards that are unique to the red deck and only the red deck. So they do kind of match in theme to the wizard of the red deck.
All right, guys, this game looks really, really fantastic. I mean, I'm blown away so far at DexCon. Just about every game that I've seen has been really great. So you guys got your work cut out for yourselves. Stiff competition out here, but it's not really a competition, and that's actually something I love about this industry is that. Even though companies are technically in competition with each other, they know that the more people are playing, the better it is for everyone. And I gotta say, like, just again, the thing that's striking me the most offhand is just the fabulous artwork you guys have. Did you guys do the artwork, or did you commission this out, or?
We commissioned it. We have an artist. His name is Joe Didalto, and you can find him on the internet.
Oh, this is just, it's really good. So if you had to pick something that was your favorite aspect of the game, what would that be?
I think that's definitely the interaction between players. This is a great game to play with a group of friends that don't mind really messing with each other.
Okay, so there's a lot of take that, like
there's
I'm
a lot of
gonna
take
mess
that.
with your
You're
stuff
constantly
there.
stealing something, destroying something.
And awesome. And so is this something that's like out in stores coming out, or is it like a Kickstarter, or what do you guys how like I know that people watching, and we're gonna like actually I'm gonna take a look at the cards a little bit closer on camera, but if people want to get this game, how can they get it?
Well, we're on Kickstarter now, and we will be until August 4th.
Okay, so the Kickstarter is running now. You guys hear that? So, get on the Kickstarter. We're gonna have the link down in the description and back this because it's just looking phenomenal right now, and it's running now until August 4th.
Yes.
All right. So, any final thoughts? Anything else that we need to let anybody know?
Emberia is in trouble, and we need your help to vanquish the Shadow Demon. So click that Kickstarter link.
You hear it. They need your help. Guys, thank you so much for sitting with me and teaching me this game.
Thank you.
Hopefully later on tonight, I can get a chance to sit down with you guys and play because this is really fun. So thank you for joining me. And guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Thank you for checking out a United Geeks Network family member. If you enjoyed it and are looking for other online media with a geek culture slant, head over to UnitedGeeksNetwork.com, where you will find Geeks of the North, a hobby and gaming podcast from La Belle Province, discussing all aspects of the miniature wargaming hobby. The United Geeks Network. You can broadcast your geekiness at UnitedGeeksNetwork.com.